Hello friends, and welcome back to the Tavern of Tomes. My name is RK Fox, I am your tavern keeper, and I am joined today by my fellow storytellers, Kent Aldrich, Christian Majewski, the one and only Rachel, and Alex Oak. And together we're going to weave a world of myth and legend. The walls of my tavern are lined with leather-bound books filled with blank pages. Once a week here at the tavern, we open a tome at dusk and fill its pages with stories. The world outside is dark and scary. It has its beauties, but they're harder to see at night. So, for the time being, let's leave this world and go adventure, shall we? Now, last we left off, the party had officially begun to set sail. Lorenzo was at peace, back being on his boat, and they began to sail for the edge of Psion's Bay. Before they left, however, Lucien had a strange dream in which, for one of the very first times, he was already a character in a dream that he linked into. And he appeared, or rather, jumped into the body of his already existing presence in the Psion's dream, as the Psion monstrously barked orders and commands at the party in a sort of dreamlike recreation of the moment when he conscripted them. And as soon as he issued his last command, Lucien began to berate him, telling him about all the ways that he should be making his ancestors proud and is failing to do so in the way that he's ruling, and all the ways that he could do better. And in that berating, Lucien slowly found himself becoming this monstrous figure that he used to see the Psion as, that the Psion was in this dream with glowing red eyes and sharp teeth. But as Lucien began to berate, the Psion faded and Lucien grew larger, and red eyes, serrated teeth. His draconic scales stood on end, piercing through the makeshift eye patch that he has right now. And as he finished his rant, the Psion faded. His allies around him faded. The vision faded, and he found himself standing on the island that he has appeared on so often in his dreams as of late. We then set sail, and recalling just as they first set sail, Straya remembered that the Shipwright is waiting for her right outside of Psion's Bay in the little chain of islands that divides Psion's Bay from the Modded Sea. And she thought it might be a good idea to talk to Lorenzo about what to do and how to handle this. As soon as she explained that she wanted to go see the Shipwright, Lorenzo lost his ever-loving mind, reasonably, and explained to her that the reason they're running from the Shipwright is the Shipwright used to have the entire crew of the Tides Unsleeping enslaved on the ship.
Minor detail.
The Tides Unsleeping.
Minor.
In response to this, he said, "I'm going to the captain," and Straya said, "Please no." And managed to convince him to talk to Lucien instead. The party gathered and came up with a plan that Lorenzo is going to go talk to Adrian and is just going to try and formulate a plan first, and they're going to try and take this process real slow and maybe see if there's a way where they can get Straya out on her own or something like that. They're going to bring it slowly up the chain and as quietly as possible. And this is where we pick up. It's about 1 PM, and first thing on the agenda was Lorenzo go talk to Adrian.
I also would like to point out that we went through all of that back and forth, and yet you're still going to tell the captain. Like, you're still getting your way.
Funny how that works, huh? That's what
just got convinced by the majority. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what a 20 charisma does.
Because he's a teacher's pet, that's why. Don't let him fool you.
You know, Adrian is gonna go, or Lorenzo
You
is
are-
gonna go to Adrian.
There we
Yes.
go.
And did I tell you before we started that I was gonna play every character on the ship if I wanted to? No. So I'm gonna go to Lorenzo's gonna go to Adrian and be like, "Okay,
Hey, yo, my man.
hey yo, how's it going?" No. He's
What
gonna
up,
go,
dog?
So, Adrian,
Eh,
so you know the little group of people that the captain put me over.
yes, yeah. I noticed we are shy one.
Yes, he went to jail. He went to jail. Big story. He had the option not to. Decided to. Weird guy. Don't even get me started.
All right.
Um,
I will not ask.
Not surprisingly, not important. So the shipwright is in Sion's Bay.
What?
The shipwright is in Sion's Bay.
No.
Right outside of it.
Okay, right. Going to the captain now. We are going to reroute.
Wait, give me 1 second. Just so you know,
Okay.
the little posse of people, they're going to. They're going to try to convince the captain to let. Estrella, you know her.
Yes.
She's going to try to convince the captain to let her talk to the shipwright because apparently the shipwright is a friend of her mother's.
What?
Appropriate
Correct.
reaction.
So, yeah, that is what she said.
Why? Why?
I don't know. She's a kid. If you look in her face, you don't see. She's not lying. I don't think she kind of just says whatever she's thinking. I don't think she's lying.
All right.
So at the very least, she believes that is true. I need you to know before I walk up with that group of people and go to the captain and say, "Oh, look, we should talk to the shipwright," that you know that I know how crazy this is.
Yeah.
I trust the captain. He'll make the
Right.
right decision, whatever. So okay, there's so many layers, and I don't know how much I can say. The shipwright really likes Estrella. The only reason I'm telling you this, and not going to the captain myself right now, is because the shipwright apparently really likes Estrella, and so Lucien was saying that there's a chance that Estrella could be our ticket to getting free of not being followed by. Because if Estrella is on the boat, he's not going to just throw us in the water, still enslave us all again, right? Maybe this is some big old trick. I have no idea. I'm not smart enough for this. But there is it's a chance. I don't know. I really don't know, to be perfectly honest. That sounds like a great idea. It also sounds way too good to be true.
I am curious about the conditions upon which the shipwright
Is
would
it going
leave
to
us
be
alone.
Estrella's fine. She can come with everybody else back to where you are, right?
Right. Additionally, maybe he lets us go, but only so long as Estrella is captain? This is the part that concerns me, is we can't...
Yes, because I know that the shipwright likes Estrella, right?
Right. But he
it
hates
seems-
all of us.
Yes. So that's big. That's very scary. I also know the shipwright, not a big fan of the Psion.
No. I mean, not a fan
was-
of any government, no.
I mean, not particularly, no. I'm not a big fan of him either. But technically, we are working for the Psion.
Yes.
So technically, more reason for him to not like us and what we're doing right now.
Yes.
So, I'm letting you know. You can tell the captain all of this. This evening, this little group of people. There, we are all going to walk up and knock on the captain's door and do the thing that we did before, and it's going to be everything it is before. I'm letting you know. I convinced them to let me talk to you first, so they know that I'm talking to you about this. Tell the captain, get back to me if he wants to even consider this. Again, this is above me. If we can get the ticket out of being followed by the shipwright, that sounds great. But I also know, I mean, I didn't want to be a privateer, and here we are. It was a pretty good deal, right? Captain made a decision against most of us deciding not wanting that, but it was a good idea. So I know that sometimes he makes better decisions that I know to make in the moment. So I'm telling you this. Go talk.
So before I go talk to the captain, So we received from the Psion, because we are privateers, we received from the Psion a missive saying that you, for your little band of miscreants, and then you are under a new sort of conscription, which allows you to give commands to the captain. But really? I do not think that he will take that well.
I didn't.
Because the wording of your conscription gave you the Tides Unsleeping and its crew as a tool for your missions.
Okay, but talking to the shipwright, that is the opposite of the mission, so...
This is the problem that I am encountering in trying to reason it out, is this is not alongside your directives, this is an auxiliary task, and you are technically permitted to give commands. Not theoretically, the four of you would need to be in agreement upon how this would get carried out, but even then, I am not sure that the captain will take kindly to a command to go talk to his jailer.
Is what I'm thinking. That is what I told them. But they're pretty dead set on this, and this is the only way that I could let you know, for reasons I'm not going to talk about. But this is the only way I could let you know. They're gonna talk to the captain because they do whatever they want. And now, worse, the Psion says, go ahead. Oh, this kid. I've got no idea.
All right. I think we should get myself, the captain, the quartermaster, and you four in the captain's quarters now.
Sounds great. I'll go get my friends.
We will meet you in the captain's quarters.
Aw, he called us his friends.
Yay!
All right. The seven of you convene in the captain's quarters. And Adrian
Bonjour,
is...
Captain.
The captain is technically holding court, but Adrian is the one who starts the interaction. And Lorenzo, this is a pattern that you are used to. Is the captain is going to basically just listen to everybody talk until everybody has said all the things they want to say, and then he's going to make a call. So, Adrian, you look around, you see Matubi with those compass-like tattoos all over his body. You see the Captain Costagal, this 8 foot tall, gray skin in the black duster coat, black captain's coat, just sort of sitting down on a chair and just sort of listening. And Adrian looks at you all and goes, "All right, out with it. What is going on? Don't all go at once."
Oh, you wanted me to...
I
thought it would come better from Lorenzo.
Enzo is not the does not have a way with words.
I filled in Adrian And I assume Adrian, unless you haven't had the time, did you fill in as a captain?
I
Was told?
filled in the captain a little bit.
Okay.
I informed the captain of enough of the nature of this situation. Make your case.
Lucian, Estrella, it's up to you guys.
These are not my decisions to make. And he points at us at Straya. Straya, my dear, your call. How much do you want to say?
So apparently the Shipwright, it was really good friends with my mom. And he said that he wanted to meet with me, that he's willing to help me in any way out of respect for my mom. And this was before I knew what he had done to you guys. But I also think that it might be important for me to hear him out, for me to talk to him. I think that he could be helpful in our mission to avenge the death of the Charbon the Third.
Jean Valjean.
And yeah, there's other like personal reasons that I don't really want to get into right now, but I think that he would listen to me. I think that he would like be very helpful. And I think that if I told him to let you guys go, he might actually listen. There's something about how convincing I am to him.
And if I may speak up before anything else will happen. Could we know a little bit more about this enslavement situation?
That was crazy. Sorry. I'm really sorry about that.
I'm sorry to hear about it too, but what was the circumstances of that?
Adrian looks down at the captain and says, "Captain, it is your story to tell." And the captain has not made eye contact with any of you. He's just kind of been looking off. He goes, "The tides on sleeping was one of 4 ships in the fleet of Commodore Mangrove Willow Shipwright. The Commodore..."
So the Shipwright is his last name?
Yes.
I thought it was a nickname. Never mind, continue.
The Shipwright traveled around the planosphere of Lifo, collecting individuals from all over who were lost at sea, or in cases like Lorenzo's, a little too drunk in port, bringing them on the ship and subjecting them to slave labor for years on end.
Like a game for them.
Sorry for interrupting again, but Lucian hearing this will just go, "Oh my gosh. Really? Is that what happened to you, Lorenzo? You got too drunk one day and got enslaved?"
I went to a bar, had a drink, woke up on a boat in chains.
I'm guessing you weren't able to write letters.
No.
So no.
continue.
At one point in time, the crew of the Tides Unsleeping had a slave crew larger than the crew with titles, than the captain, than any of those who worked freely on the vessel. Adrian, Lorenzo, Mitubi, and I organized most of the people who are privateers on the ship now and seized the ship from its captain and its crew and sailed away before the shipwright could notice. Since then, we have been on the run.
And how many years ago was that?
Maybe 6 months, 8 months. It has not been long.
Oh,
You
It
guys
has not
basically
been long.
sailed back, picked us up at port, and then we sailed back off again.
No, we have been making port several times before we picked you up.
Proto trips.
You were maybe our
So-
4th or 5th conscription before.
was the
Since.
shipwright? Was the shipwright already in his spectral form?
Spectral form? He does not have a spectral form. He is a physical being.
Sorry,
He's, like,
in his
made
little
of wood.
woody form.
Yes,
There's a
that-
tree growing out of the ocean.
the shipwright is a tree. The shipwright is is forests, 2 forests.
Oh, I thought it was a person.
Yes,
He's 2 forests?
the
Like physical forests?
The shipwright is 2 sentient forests who grew themselves into a boat.
This is where I always get lost.
Or at least this is what was rumored by the crew that enslaved us. And so this is what I assume to be true.
Interesting.
Oh, sorry. That explanation just feels like
That feels like a meat to me.
that feels like something. Like you drank something bad at a sketchy tavern and you woke up the next morning and like that was your dream kind of level of thing.
Kind of, except that it really happened to Enzo, apparently.
8 years of waking
No,
up and it not being a dream.
Not the slavery part. I'm talking about the 2 forests thing. That just kind of
Oh.
broke my brain. The slavery
Cool.
part makes sense. That's
These sounds like, you know, when your parents tell you that if you disobey them and go to the docks, a shark man will come out of the water and eat you.
Dark
Sounds
man.
kind of like that kind of legend. But maybe there was a truth where, like, some homeless person stabbed a kid and then took him down under. But it probably wasn't the shark man.
No.
Okay, so these shipwright sounds like a sketchy thing, entity, I guess, would
Yes.
be the right word.
Yes. The shipwright has been on the seas for... Adrian, the shipwrights has been on the seas for, I want to say 30 years or something like that.
How long has your mother not been on the seas? Straya?
18 years. I'm 18, so around 18 years.
Have you always lived with her in Omazel?
Yes. Yeah. to my remembrance, all my earliest memories are living in Omerzel and always having my mom around.
Something doesn't add up for me here.
Was he always a slave owner, or is that like a recent thing?
That is my
Do you
question.
think my mom was a part of it too?
I do not know how far back the slave labor goes. We know it goes a minimum of, I mean, let's see. You, Callus, how long were you on the crew as a slave? I was on the, how many years? It was something like 15, 16 years. Something like that. The crew was much smaller when I was captured.
How small? Was it multiple ships or was it one?
It was always multiple ships. The Shipwright had multiple ships back when it sailed with their renegade, according to legend.
So maybe the possibility is that the Shipwright went cuckoo after your mom left. Or your mom left because the Shipwright went cuckoo. Either way, there's some bad juju going on here. I am still intrigued.
What did he have you guys doing as slaves? Were you like
We were the crew of the ship.
right?
Any
But
job
what were
they
you
didn't
doing?
want to do, they told us to do it. They didn't give us breaks. They barely fed us, gave us small
Not
rations.
not as individuals on the boat. What were the ships doing? Like as a unit, what were you doing? Was it piracy? Was it trading? What was the?
We were tasked to raid, pillage, capture more slaves, but the slaves weren't a part of that. Each ship has a series of non-enslaved individuals who are the active pirates, and then there are slaves who perform all the other tasks to keep the ship running so that the pirates can just do the piracy.
But that feels... There's only so many people that can live on the boat.
Because they
Why
have
would-
big boats.
They have big boats.
It also part of the part of it was I became French. Part of it was, from what I remember them talking about, it was kind of a game to them.
Yes.
They took
could have more?
pleasure. They took pleasure out of. It was when you go to port, you find some random guy and you bring him on the ship to do a job you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it was. They took some pleasure out of it. So
It was a bit of a who can capture the best person to replace the task you don't want to do.
and that was part of the reason. That was part of the reason we were able to outnumber them so quickly, was because they got
And
lost
how-
in.
Because they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, that makes sense. So, more questions. How active is the Shipwright in all of this?
You mean the shipwright himself?
The entity itself, yes.
Ringmaster.
And
Oversees
you're
the
sure
whole
of
thing.
this?
He didn't stop it.
Well, my question is, well, I guess he is.
The shipwright,
Really?
the shipwright is each boat. The boats are alive.
This boat's alive or is it dead? man?
Alive?
We're trying to get as much of it to be dead as possible.
We have slowly been replacing planks of the boats. Every time we make port, we replace a part of the boat.
Oh,
Ship of Theseus!
Yep.
Except that it is Ship of Shipwright.
So every time we
not
make port,
anymore.
every time we make port, we replace a part of the boat. However, we have not seemingly replaced enough of the boat because the shipwright can normally still track us, which is why we need to move swiftly.
So,
Got to go fast.
argument to be made here for letting Straya, who apparently has an inroad with this admittedly not good person, to
Thing.
talk to him. And maybe if the Shipwright sees your boat now as under her care, maybe he'll stop coming after you guys.
Yes, and maybe if we talk to the zombies in the roaring waste really nicely, they will stop eating people.
Actually, oh, you can't talk to them. But that's what Nax is for. All I'm saying is we have a chance to talk to a sentient being that could stop following you guys. You wouldn't have to deal with the hassle of replacing parts of your ship. You could go live your lives relatively piratey without the fear of the sentient crazy ship coming after you.
Or we become slaves of the sheep. That is...
See, this is the other problem with suggesting that we go anywhere near the Shipwright. The Shipwright outnumbers us 3-1.
Well, kind of.
No,
Last time
they
there was
outnumber
one
us
boat.
3-1.
Well,
They
you-
had
not-
4
okay,
vessels. We have 1. They now have 3.
Yes,
they
but
have
last time
they
there
have
was
3
only-
vessels with 0 crew. If there are no slaves on the vessels.
No. You do not understand.
They're
They
free,
have
just
each each vessel has crew, but
Yes, I
some of
understand.
the
A crew
crew.
that doesn't know how to use a ship.
I know how to use a ship.
No, they know how to
Oh,
use
The
a ship.
slaves didn't know how to use this ship.
You cannot teach
No,
a
the-
slave how to. You can teach it. You cannot teach a slave how to use a ship if you do not know how to use the ship yourself.
Yes, you teach the other slaves that already know how to use the ship. All I'm saying is and this is me talking at this point. All I'm saying is if you don't perform a task for a certain amount of years, you are not proficient at it. Even if you were at a certain point in time. Right? And when you grab people to do slave labor for you, you don't train them. Once you have enough slaves, you just let the slaves train each other. Because again, why the heck would you be doing any of the labor if the entire purpose is in having these guys do all that labor?
True.
So basically, back into character, if we can convince the slaves somehow to rebel like you did, all we need to do is give them a couple of knives, and we have the Shipwright to ourselves.
Whoa, hold up. We're forgetting a couple of
Lorenzo has a big old grin on his face. He's like, huh?
This is why I do the thinking, and he does the talking.
Well, one, Captain, you don't know that you will be outnumbered 3-1 because the last time we interacted with the Shipwright, it was only one of the ships, not all 3. They could be scattered anywhere, so that's a supposition that you cannot prove. And we have somebody who could get the Shipwrights to stop following us altogether.
Potentially.
Potentially, this is true, but here's the wager. You either do this now, or the Shipwright catches up with you at some point. One way or another, you're gonna end up having to deal with this thing. And this way, you have the advantage of a person who might give you the ability to stop it. And if not, then we fight it off like we would have to at some other point. But at that other point, we'd probably be surprised. It'd probably be in the dead of night. This way, we can go into this fight at least somewhat prepared for the possibility that we'll have to fight it.
Or, depending on what because we don't know what the Shipwright wants exactly. We convince the Shipwright that we are joining the fleet as
So much more
ourselves.
complicated than it needs to be.
Wait. Again, what's your mental stat?
Charisma.
We convince the Shipwright that we are joining the fleet independently, but under the name of the Shipwright. Doesn't matter, because that's not what we're doing. One by one, we convince the people that are on the ships that do not want to be on those ships. And at some point, we just take them over. And then nobody will ever have to suffer the fate that you suffered at first. And then we find the forest of the Shipwright and burn it down.
You're trying to solve a problem that we don't even like. You're thinking 8 problems ahead. We still have to.
Yes,
Pretty sure you just
because that's how
described
you solve problems. You don't look at the thing that's right in front of you. You look at the next things that are behind it. How do you think I survived at court for this long?
Yeah, this isn't court. It's a stupid pirate.
It is not a stupid pirate. By thinking that, you have already lost. Never underestimate your enemy.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm merely saying that you are trying to do something way more complicated than what I'm trying to do. How about
Yes, and you are banking on chance. At this point, it is a 50-50 chance of whether the Shipwright listens to Straya or not. So let's think about other plans.
You want to give knives to subservient slaves and hope they kill the crew fast enough to then take over a sentient ship that will actively fight back against us?
I'm not talking about doing
That's a
this
smarter plan than having a girl whose mother had the allegiance of this thing talk to it?
Supposedly.
Supposedly, fair enough. I'm not saying it's for sure, but I'm saying that it's more simple and probably got a better chance of working than giving knives to the slaves.
Giving knives to the slave to work for us.
Exactly. If it is truly the way that they are describing it, and the slaves outnumber the crew 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, it is math even I can do.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that? I'll look at the captain. I'll be like, "Is that true of the other boats? Do you know if that was true of the other boats when we did what we did?"
We never got to see the other boats. We are the crew of the Tides Unsleeping because we were on the Tides Unsleeping. The other ships have different names. The other ships have different ratios. I did some quick math and said we have the crew outnumbered, 4 to 1. I can take even people who do not know what they are doing, and we can beat a crew 4 to 1. We lost many people that day, but we did come out on top.
And again, I am thinking several steps ahead. The thing in front of us right now, I partially agree with Vale. We have Straya talk to the Shipwright and present. We listen to what the Shipwright wants first, but depending on whatever the mood is, I think our best decision would be to somehow try and align ourselves with it, so that it is not chasing us around the ocean anymore, and so that maybe in the future we have other things that we can do. Because for now,
what assurance do we have that it will maintain that allegiance to Straya? What
You
if...
have no assurance that they'll sneak up on you in the night tomorrow.
Well, right now the assurance that we have that it will not sneak up on us in the night tomorrow is that it is waiting for Straya.
This is true, and when we leave and don't show up...
yes, but it will sense the Tides Unsleeping passing through Sion's Bay. It is a small canal. It will find us, if it can truly sense the boat.
Yeah. Thinking back to the night that the Shipwright came, met me on the water. This might be hard to figure out because obviously Stray is thinking in the past.
Yeah.
But did it seem like he had prior knowledge of the Scion's death, or maybe was somehow involved? I don't know if there's a way to suss that out.
No.
I'm just thinking of the timing of...
No, because so the Scion's death happened after he communicated with you.
Oh, that's right. I was just trying to think of the order.
Yeah, so he communicated with you, then the Scion died. The Scion came from a thing in the sky.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the tides on sleeping is a boat.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was
Yeah.
like a coordinated attack.
It does
type
not.
thing, like maybe
It
he's
does not
helping
appear to
people.
have been coordinated. There's no.
Okay.
There's no thematic alliances, anything like that would indicate to you insofar as you are aware, the shipwright probably still thinks that your dad's alive.
Oh, okay, like the news hasn't reached.
Probably.
Let's see.
Okay.
Because that news is 2 days old. And the shipwright
Yeah.
already told you, I'm going to be 4 days away in this location whenever you need help.
Great.
So,
I think we could get the shipwright to either help us get to where the airship is or let us through. I have something that the shipwright wants. But we need to stay in the good graces of the Psion. And so I'm just wondering if we tell the shipwright that in order to like get into the good graces of the Psion, we need to leave. Maybe he'll listen. Maybe he will either let the ship go free.
why would the shipwright care if you are in the good graces of the Psion? Why would that matter to the shipwright?
He seems to like power. And I've become friends with the Psion. So I think he thinks that he could use me to get whatever he wants out of the person who holds that position, person who has that power. Possibly. I don't know. I'm just speculating, right? I didn't even know the shipwright knew my mom until a couple of days ago. So, but I don't know. It's just something in my gut says he said he would help. I think he will help.
All right, Adrian speaks up at this point and just goes, from the four of you, what do you believe the odds are on the plan of Sreya talking to the shipwright working? Are we sitting at 50-50, 80-20, 60-40? Where are we?
Depending on what we want. If you want true freedom from the shipwright, I don't think that is going to be possible. If we somehow try to align ourselves with it, I think that is probably a 60-40 chance.
I think that you're gonna face this thing one way or another. Might as well face it when you have an advantage.
So
I mean,
you,
on that part, I agree with the Veil.
so you do think that we should attempt to fight the shipwright, overthrow?
Face
You-
and fight, different words.
Do you think... Go ahead, Ken.
No, go ahead. I need to know what you were gonna say.
Do you think that we can get out of Sion's Bay if he's truly waiting in the belt without the shipwright catching up to us?
We are the faster. There is a reason we have been able to run.
If you're that confident, it's your call. Well, actually, yours and Streya's. It is her future, her destiny. Although there's one thing that I do agree with the Shipwright on. And then I'm going to shoot a look at Straya. And that's all I'm going to do.
You asked for percentage. I don't know the Shipwright, or what I know of him is obviously a very different perspective than what you have. So I feel like the most I can give you is 50-50. But he said that he would be waiting for me to help however I need. And I believe him in that. And so I think that if I tell him what I need is for the tides unsleeping to be able to pass through water safely, that he will at least consider it. I don't know if he will give it, but maybe he will consider it. He's gone almost a year without the boat. He doesn't need it, right? Right now it's just his pride.
The boat is him.
Okay, so what if we tell him that we will change it out so he's not a part of the boat anymore?
And then he gets sold off to a carpenter and made into a toilet seat?
The vision that you all received, that we all saw, when we were running from the Shipwright when you first joined. The Shipwright feels as though a part of him has been stolen. And he wants it back. In order to convince him to leave us alone, you need to convince him that he does not need the tides unsleeping. And that I do not know how to do.
That's why I say swearing allegiance to him for now seems like a smart idea.
Captain Calistagal speaks up and says, "We will not swear allegiance to the Shipwright. Under no circumstances.
Allegedly.
We will
I
not
see.
pretend to swear allegiance.
So you want to be running away for the rest of your life?
I would prefer
Is your
that.
pride really that important to you?
My pride. I do not consider it a point of pride to not at least not pretend to stand with slave traders, with slavers. That is not a point of pride. That is a point of basic morality, that I will not lie and say that I ally with them.
I would agree with the captain. There is no alliance with slavers. That would be utterly immoral.
So you're just going to let it happen indefinitely?
What?
Let other people...
I don't know how to... I do not have the power to stop it.
Yeah, sure.
So, is there...
Sorry, with that comment, Lorenzo's staring daggers at Lucian.
Is it possible that we already know that he's waiting for us? Yes, we have to pass him. Yes, the ship is faster.
Do you know where he is waiting for us? Specifically.
Did he tell me that?
You were given a specific island that he would be nearby.
Oh, great. I'll find my notes before next time.
Oh, I didn't give you a name of a specific island. I told you that he gave you a mental image of a map and a specific island that he would be next to.
Got it.
So you could point it out on a map.
I'm going to point it out to the group and be like, he said he would wait for me here.
All right. We can travel we can travel through the point in Scion's of the exit to Scion's Bay, which is furthest from that.
Or, yes, we do that. But we also send a smaller boat, rowboat situation maybe, to go to the island and talk to him.
We're talking hundreds of miles difference.
Yeah.
If you
I think-
send you on a little rowboat, you're just gonna stay on that island.
Yeah, no, you know what? I think we finish the task the Scion gave us, and then we come back and we deal with the Shipwright. I still want to meet with him, but maybe we save it for another time. And
All
if
right.
we get caught, if he catches us on the way out, then we can say that we felt like the task for the Scion was more important, but I knew that I could meet with him at any time, and so my plan was to come back, which it is. So technically I'm not lying that I'm planning to come back and meet with him, just maybe not with the crew of the Tides Unsleeping.
And if we give the Scion the everything he wants and take back the rock and all of those sorts of things, and then come back, I'm sure he would not mind helping us free all of the slaves from all of the other ships.
Yes, somewhere in the ocean.
But as you said, we shouldn't just let them perpetually remain slaves.
No, we shouldn't. But apparently, not doing anything about it is so much better than lying for a little bit. My dear pirate crew.
It's
You know
not that
what?
we're not doing anything about it.
It's fine. I am okay with whatever Straya decides. And Lucian will get up. I think I've heard enough. I'm sorry for anything and everything. I'm just gonna remove myself from this. And he's going to walk out of the room.
Lucian, you leave. Captain Calistago
Strange,
says...
no.
Oh, go.
Oh, I was just gonna look at the captain and be like, "You're positive that we could outrun him if we need to?"
We did the first night we escaped. We have every night since.
Actually, sorry.
And let's say
Before I would have
He
left,
gets-
I would have asked you, Straya, if you want me to be here.
she doesn't know what you want. She'll be like, "Do what you want."
Okay, then he leaves.
Cool.
Yeah. Can we fine? Let's say that we just go, but can I potentially ask for a caveat? If he chases us out and we hear him speak like we did before, if I ask us to stop so we can talk to him, would you be willing to do that?
Make a persuasion check. The DC is very high on this.
Oh no. I'm gonna try different dice. What? Okay, persuasion you said?
Yes.
Oh no, this is stressful. It's no. That's 15.
If we are being actively pursued, the one thing I will promise you I will do is protect my crew. And I do not see how protecting them can be achieved by letting us be taken upon. When we have the advantage when we know where he is, That is a different case. But I do not think we have, on the off chance that his whole fleet is where you are saying he will be, I don't think we on our own have enough power to defeat the fleet of the Shipwright. Maybe under other circumstances, but at least this initial situation is not one I think that we can win. Not a fight we can win. I am not opposed, because I do not like what the Shipwright does. I am not opposed to coming back at a time where we have more firepower and we are not alone. But this is not the time.
Yeah, I'm not okay with it. I'm really sorry. All right, so we just try to bypass.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, sorry I know the guy who did this to you.
I know a lot of
But maybe
bad
it'll be an
people.
advantage one day.
I know a lot of bad people who have done horrible things. Knowing bad people is not a crime. Being the bad person is.
Yeah. All right. So with that, Stray's just gonna go down and maybe like sit in her little swinging hammock and play a little bit of fiddle just to process everything that she's heard.
And as this meeting disperses, we're going to finish this chapter of The Voyages of the Tides and Sleeping. Thank you all for joining us. Do you guys have anything you guys want to plug?
Same as always.
So minis. Oh, go for it.
No, go. You already said the name.
Magic Whistle Minis, my YouTube channel. I do D&D sculpting, miniatures, and Warhammer stuff, as well as my band Kin KYN. We should. I don't know when our out. We're working on a second album. We've got a couple singles out. Check out our music Spotify at KYN dot something KYN official band _ Figure it out.
Same as always, Flightless Birds Twitch. I stream Monday through Saturday. Play games, RPGs, JRPGs mostly. Also YouTube and other places. And then Behold Plato's Man. I do philosophy stuff and just talk about books that I'm reading.
Oh,
I have another podcast called Multi Nerds. You can check that out. And you can check out my Korean adventures on Instagram. Rachel McAlpey.
hey.
Yeah.
Kent, anything from you?
Go look at Substack. Maybe there'll be things existing there. Who knows? My life's a little crazy right now.
All right, and as always, patreon.com/Tavern of Tums, capital T in Tavern and Tums. Thank you all for joining us. You're always welcome here at the Tavern, and come back next week, because the story's not over yet. We love you all. Good night.
Good night.